In this video, we will be going over how to identify break-off structure. We will not be learning how to trade the markets, liquidity sweeps, the psychology, and top-down analysis. So in order to identify BOS or break-off structure, this is what we want to see or we want to do. Every time the market makes a higher high, breaks this structure, then we are identifying that as a break-off structure. So a break-off structure is simply a market where price breaks and closes above the high of the market or the low of the market. So each time the market comes up, down, breaks and closes above this, it's a break-off structure. Same thing. This is a break-off structure. So that's how you identify a break-off structure. Now on the charts, the real charts, it will not look nice and clean like this. On the charts, it will look more something a bit messy or a bit confusing, where you are having a lot of these internal price movements within one leg. So this is what you are having, and then we are finally having a pullback, and then we have this impulse that's going to confuse a lot of us. So this is what it will look like on the charts. So how can you identify a break-off structure when it looks like this? Well, on the charts, you are going to identify a strong impulse, and then you are going to identify a pullback, and then another impulse. That impulse, you are going to identify that it has broken and closed above the swing or the high of the market right here. This is where the market broke and closed. So that's a break-off structure. Same thing again, the market made a pullback and broke above this high. Can you guys see what is happening? The market is repeating itself. This was our last break-off structure in this price movement. So where was the last low? This is not the last low. This is not the last low. This is the last low. And how do we know that? We take a box, we drag it across, and then what we will do, we will pull this down, and then we will see where last was the market down. This is the place where the market was last down, and then from there, that is where we will draw our line. If the market comes down and breaks here, this will be our break-off structure. But for now, where the price is currently, it's at the middle. It's between this high right here and this low right here. So if the market does this again, we will identify a break-off structure, but only if it breaks and closes above this high. And if the market does this, then we will identify that as well as our break-off structure again. So let's play price forward and see what happens. There we go. So the market broke this structure first, came down aggressively as an impulse. So this will identify it as a BOS, break-off structure. This is where the market broke and closed below this low. So now what we want to do is draw this line again. If the market comes here at this, we will identify it as a break-off structure only if it comes at this high, not this high, because this is internal price movement. Still playing price forward. And then we have an impulse to the upside. Okay, now see what is happening. The market broke this high right here. and we will identify it as a break of structure. Now we will take this and drag it below here. So if the market again comes down and breaks and closes below this low, that will be our next break of structure. So currently we have a bullish break of structure. There we go. Here's our next break of structure right there. We can draw a line across. This is where the market broke and closed above our line right here. It doesn't matter how much the market closes or how many pips, as long as we close above our high right here. So if the market comes down, breaks this low again, this will be our next break of structure. Let me delete this one because we do not need it. And this is our BOS, break of structure. Let's play price forward and see what happens. Here we have a pullback. And here's another break of structure. At this high, the market broke and closed above this high. So we will take this and drag it across at this low. Let's get rid of this one. Let's look for another break of structure. This is all we are doing, identifying break of structures. That's all. Not identifying liquidity sweeps, top-down analysis, or trading. There we go. Here's our break of structure, another one. We drag this line across, and then this low right here. If the market breaks this low, this will be our next break of structure. There we go. Market broke and closed below that low. Then we take this and drag it across. We have a pullback. There we go. Market broke and closed below this low right here. If you guys are not confused or you would like to have some questions, please do drop some questions on the comment sections.